Good morning. In the last lecture, we talked about Galilean transformation. And next article of this chapter is Lagrange transformation. Lagrange transformations are entirely different from Galilean transformation. Galilean transformations are generally used in non-accelerated frames of reference or inertial frames of reference, whereas Lagrange transformations are generally used in accelerated or non-inertial frames of reference. These transformations are carried out using the new concept of invariance of velocity of light in free space. Lagrange transformations or Lagrange transformation equations are obtained by taking into consideration the new concept of invariance of velocity of light in free space, and the transformation equations obtained using the invariance of velocity of light are known as Lagrange transformations. Let us draw a simple figure to understand the procedure to derive the expressions for Lagrange transformations. The figure is this is the simple figure we need to understand the procedure to derive Lagrange transformation equations. S is one frame of reference with coordinate axes x, y, z. Observer O is sitting at the origin. S prime is second coordinate system with coordinate axes x prime, y prime, z prime. Other observer O prime is sitting at the origin of the frame of reference S prime. One more thing. Here we have to consider that the time is not absolute, time is relative. Here we have to consider that time is not absolute, time is relative. Speed up time here and speed up time here. Time measurement in frame of reference S and time measurement in frame of reference S prime are different. At the beginning, at t is equal to 0, S and S prime, frame of reference S and frame of reference S prime are coinciding with each other. X prime coinciding X, Y prime overlapping Y, Z prime overlapping Z, this origin overlapping this origin. Observer O and O prime are sitting at the same place. When? At time t is equal to 0. At time t is equal to 0, one light gun is fired. At time t is equal to 0, one light gun is fired. At the same time, when the light gun is fired, frame of reference S dash started moving along the positive x direction with constant velocity v. At t is equal to 0, a person fires a light gun at the same time, simultaneously. Frame of reference S dash starts moving along positive x direction with constant velocity v. Now frame of reference S is stationary, frame of reference S dash is moving with constant velocity v away from S in the positive x direction. After that, some event has occurred at point P. After that, some event has occurred at point P. Coordinates of point P is noted by observer O are x, y, z. At the same time, coordinates of the point P noted by observer O prime are x prime, y prime, z prime. Coordinates of point P noted by observer O are x, y, z. Coordinates of point P noted by observer O prime are x prime, y prime, z prime. Distance of the point P where the event has occurred from O is expressed in terms of x, y and z. Distance of the point P where the event has occurred from the observer O prime will be expressed in terms of x prime, y prime, z prime. Let us suppose that distance of the event from O is R. Distance of the same event from the observer O prime is R dash. Then in terms of these coordinates, position of this point P measured by the observer O will be simply this one. Equation number 1. And the distance measured by the observer O prime of the event P will be given by this equation. Equation 1 gives expression for distance of the event measured by the observer O in the frame of reference S. Equation 2 gives distance of the event occurred by the observer O prime in frame of reference S prime. When the light gun is fired here at t is equal to 0, when O and O prime are coinciding, the pulse of light fired from the light gun is traveling in all directions, and therefore it will be a growing sphere. A pulse of light has fired from the light gun at t is equal to 0 when O prime and O overlapping on each other, coinciding with each other, and the pulse of light is traveling. Actually, wavefront of the pulse of light, wavefronts of the pulse of light are traveling in all directions with the same velocity, and that will appear as a growing sphere. When the pulse is fired by the fire gun, O and O prime were at the same place, and therefore were at the same place, and therefore the expansion of or the spreading of the growing sphere will be same for observer O and O prime. See the velocity of light, it will be constant. It will be same in all frames of reference. Velocity of light is invariance with respect to any frame of reference, and therefore this R may be taken as c square t square, where t is the time elapsed, the time passed as measured by observer O, and here this R dash R prime square will be c square t prime square, where this t prime is the time elapsed, time passed as measured by the observer O prime, and therefore equations 1 and 2 may further be written as x square plus y square plus z square is equal to c square t square, or this is simply x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square is equal to 0. Equation number 3. Similarly, using this in equation 2, x prime square plus y prime square plus z prime square minus c square t prime square is equal to 0. Equation 4. Equations 3 and 4 should be same. Equations 3 and 4 should be same. Okay, so let us compare these two, because the expansion of growing sphere is the same for both. observer O as well as for observer O prime. And the gun has fired when O and O prime were overlapping with each other, and therefore these two distances should be same for both. Because of this, let us equate equations 3 and 4. One more thing. Motion of the frame of reference S prime is only along x direction. It is not along y direction, it is not along z direction. And therefore, x coordinate as measured in S and as measured in S prime are same. Sorry, y coordinates. Y coordinates as measured in S and S prime are same. Z coordinates as measured in S and S prime are same, because there is no motion along y direction along y axis, there is no motion along z direction along z axis. The motion is only along direction x axis, and therefore x coordinate will be only different. Y coordinates for both frames of reference should be same, because there is no motion along y direction. Z coordinates in both frames of reference should be same, because there is no motion along z direction along z axis. Let us keep these things in mind before equating these two equations. And now equate these two equations. As O and O prime were coinciding when the light gun was fired, these two distances should be same, and therefore I can equate equation 3 with equation 4, so that I can have x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square is equal to x prime square plus y prime square plus z prime square minus c square t prime square. But as we know, y is equal to y prime and z is equal to z prime. This y square get cancelled with this y prime square, this z square get cancelled with this z prime square, and we are left with x square minus c square t square is equal to x prime square minus c square t prime square, equation number 5. X square minus c square t square is equal to x prime square minus c square t prime square, equation number 5. We wanted the Lorentz transformation equations should reduce to Galilean transformation equations when the velocity c will be very less than c. When we consider the velocity v in the figure we have drawn in this article very large, comparable with velocity of light, then Lorentz transformations are true. Lorentz transformations are true when the velocities are comparable with the velocity of light. If the velocity involved in the example we considered is much smaller than velocity of light, Lorentz transformations should reduce to Galilean transformation. And to make provision for this, let me do few assumptions. From the geometry of the figure, the same reason I told in the last article. X dash is equal to x minus vt. From the geometry of the figure, what we have, x prime is equal to x minus vt. Let me write the same thing. X prime is equal to x minus Vt. This is true for inertial frame of reference. This is not true for non-inertial frame of reference or accelerated frame of reference. And therefore, let me consider some alpha here. X is equal to alpha times x prime is equal to alpha times x minus Vt, equation number 6, and the time t prime as measured in frame of reference S prime will be beta t plus gamma x, equation number 7. Let me consider x prime as measured in frame of reference S prime is related with x by this equation, alpha into x minus Vt. In inertial frame of reference, alpha is not needed. We can directly write x prime is equal to x minus Vt. But in non-inertial frame of reference, in accelerated frame of reference, we need alpha here, and we have to find what should be value of this alpha if this velocity is very, very large, comparable with velocity of c, and t, the measurement of time in frame of reference, yes, t prime, the measurement of time in the frame of reference S prime. In inertial frame of reference, when the velocities are very small, this term will be 0, beta will be equal to 1. If velocity v is very small, very smaller than velocity of light. But if this v is comparable with velocity of light, this term will not be 0, beta will not be 1, and there we have to consider t prime is equal to beta t plus gamma x. Considerations, assumptions made in 6 and 7 are because we want Lorentz transformation equations should reduce to Galilean transformation equations when the velocity involved in the example we considered is very small, very smaller than the velocity of light. In that case, Lorentz transformations and Galilean transformations should be same. But when the velocity involved in the example we considered is not small, it is very large, comparable with the velocity of light, which is about 3 lakh kilometer per second. In 1 second, the light travels about 3 lakh kilometers. If the velocity is so large, then we have to go for the assumptions we made in equation 6 and 7. Let us put x prime is equal to this here and t prime is equal to this here. Substitute equation 6 and 7 into equation 5 to get x square minus c square t square is equal to alpha square into x minus Vt bracket square minus c square into beta t plus gamma x bracket square, equation number 8. And now let us expand RHS of equation 8. This is alpha square into, this is a minus b square, a square plus b square minus 2ab. So x square plus v square t square minus 2x v t minus c square into, this is a plus b square, a square plus b square plus 2ab. So a square is beta square t square plus b square is gamma square x square plus 2 beta t gamma x. Or this may be further, x square minus c square t square is equal to alpha square x square plus alpha square v square t square minus 2 x v t alpha square minus c square beta square t square minus c square gamma square x square minus 2 beta t gamma x c square, expansion of RHS. Okay, then let us try to collect the terms with coefficient x square. Let us try to collect the terms with coefficient x square. X square is here in this term, it is not here, it is not here, not here, it is here, it is not here. So there are two terms where we have x square. So let us have this x square common from this and this term and collect the remaining terms. What left here? Alpha square. What left here? Minus c square gamma square. Okay, then let us go for the terms having xt. This term is considered, this term is considered, this is considered, this is considered. Okay, then let us search for xt. X is here, t is here, so this is one term. X is here, t is here, so this is second term. Let us take minus xt common. Minus x minus 2 is here. So instead of minus xt, let us have minus 2xt common. Minus 2xt is taken common. What left here? Minus 2xt taken. V alpha square is left from first term. And what is left from second term? 2 taken, t taken, x taken. Beta gamma c square plus beta gamma c square. Okay, so this term is considered, this term is considered. Now these two terms are left. Let us have common from these two terms as minus c square t square. Here we have only t square, so let us have c square in the denominator. So it will be alpha square v square divided by c square. If we multiply this term by c minus c square t square, c square will get cancelled, and here, so I have to give minus sign here. Minus minus will become plus, so it will be c square get cancelled, it will be plus alpha square v square t square. And the second term, where is the second term of c square here? C square minus c square t square is taken. What left is simply beta square. Okay, and this is what? X square minus c square t square is equal to this, equation number 8. Okay, then let us compare the coefficients on both sides of equation 8 to get new equations. Half of the article is complete. For remaining half article, we have to meet in the next lecture. Hope you got this part of the article. I have solved all the part all the theoretical background needed was explained completely, thoroughly. Hope you got up to equation 8. Okay. In the next lecture, we shall continue from equation 8. Thank you.